Good afternoon, Real Life Radio listeners. This is Jennifer with your Community Connection Corner here on your Catholic station, Real Life Radio 1380 and 94.9 FM. Joined this afternoon by some folks from the Father Beiting Appalachian Mission Center down in Louisa, Kentucky. Welcome to the show, gang.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
All right, so let's just go around and quickly introduce yourselves and what your role is. So we'll start with you.
Okay, I'm Dominic Capri, and I'm the Director of Operations for the Mission Center.
I'm Cindy Capri, and I'm the Volunteer Coordinator.
Sue Michael, and I'm Administrative Supervisor.
Russlyn Case Compton, and I'm the Secretary for Social Services for the Diocese, responsible for the Mission Center.
Fantastic. So you guys are under the Diocese of Lexington, then.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
So what exactly do you do? Tell us about Father Beiting Appalachian Mission Center, who you are, what you do.
Well, first of all, Father Beiting passed away. It'll be 2 years this August. He was a priest for 63 years, 62 years in Appalachia, and the Mission Center is named after Father. We service, or we try to service, the entire diocese, mostly the 40 counties of Appalachia. Physically, it's located in Louisa, as you said, which is Lawrence County, Kentucky. And, of course, because of our location, we do most of our work there in Lawrence and Martin County. But we reach out to the community, servicing all people who come for help. Last year, we touched the lives of around 20,000 people in some way. Mostly, it's a home improvement type of situation. We do visit 99.9% of our clients. We try to develop a relationship with them, not to just come and help them and move on, but again, the primary focus is to evangelize, spread the good news. And Father used to say it's a pre-gospel ministry. You can't spread the good news. People won't listen or even want to listen until their physical needs are met. So we try to meet their physical needs, before we get into their, their spiritual needs. Most of that is done through the home improvement or the home repair projects. We have a thrift store, utility assistance. There's a number of outreach programs that we have, youth groups, summer camps, Bible schools, things like that. But it's to reach out to all people in the eastern Kentucky, those 40 counties.
And so how do people come to you? How do you know where the need is?
Well, in eastern Kentucky, the need is so
It's basically everywhere, but...
Yeah, it is so great. And there are a lot of organizations that do work that like we do. But again, because of Father's reputation and his time in the area, people will come and ask for help. It's not we don't do a lot of advertising. I mean, it's not necessary to, put up billboards or anything like that, but they'll come and through the Mission Center itself or through other churches in those localities. We have a ministerial association who refers people. We have a great relationship and partnership with a lot of the other social service functions. So we'll refer to each other. If we can't help, we'll send them to another organization that might be able to. So that's how, that network of social service agencies in the area is really how we get our referrals, our clients.
Okay.
They have a interagency meeting, that type of thing, once a month. So it's easy to get clients.
And if I could kind of talk a little bit about Father and his history, Father Beiting always had mission work, as Dominic says. It was really important to him that he recognized very early on that people who are hungry, people who are sleeping cold, cannot hear the Word of God. It's hard for it to settle in their hearts because their physical needs are just so overwhelming. And the four of us here had the privilege to work with Father and to really understand that evangelization starts at that level, feeding people, meeting their physical needs. And that was always very important to him. And as he grew older, he was always worried about what would happen after he was gone. Who was going to carry on his legacy? How are things going to continue? And so in 2004, he started having conversations with people at the Chancery office about his legacy. I want this to continue after I'm gone. Who's going to come down and take care of these people? He had such a love for the people of Appalachia that he wanted to make sure that there was a way that the Catholic Church would continue to work with people and help with their basic needs. And so in 2006, that's when we formed the apostolate of the Father Beiting Appalachian Mission Center as a way to continue his legacy. And I know Sue and I can talk that it was a real struggle for him to give up control and to learn to help us rather than do things for us, and to teach us how to work with people, how to respect where they are, how to really be with them and journey with them as equals. And one of the best things that happened was in 2010, we met Dominic and Cindy Capria, who were in a place where they could come and be in charge of the Mission Center. And that was a really great thing for Father Beiting and I to have them be here. And I was thinking that Dominic and Cindy, if they could talk about how you came to be part of the Mission Center, I think that would be really helpful.
All right, Cindy, you want to go first?
Okay, well, we used to come down as seasonal volunteers, which is 1 week in the summertime, and we did that for a couple of years, about 5 or 6 years, and we were trying to become year-long volunteers, and it just didn't work. Our children were in college and leaving jobs for a year, and then one year when we came down, the last year we came in the summer, the director of operations position was open. So, we talked about it and prayed about it and thought, well, if one of us is working, one of us could volunteer and that will work. So we went through that interview process, and it was, Dominic was offered the position, so we came down. But in the interim of wanting to do the 1 year volunteering and it not working and coming down, we had Father Beiting up at our parish in Pennsylvania. And I picked him up from the airport, and the first thing he said to me is, now, if I could get myself a social worker and a manager, I'll be all set.
Wow.
And my background is social work, and Dominic's is management, so I just looked up to the sky, up to heaven, and I said, okay, we'll figure it out. And that's when the position opened up. So
you guys weren't even living in the area? You were in
no,
Pennsylvania?
we were in Pennsylvania, in the Philadelphia area. So it was a big change.
Now, how did you find out about the center? I mean, just because we were
down here volunteering for a week, and the position was vacant, and just in talking with everybody.
The question: how did you find out about the center more?
Oh, originally?
Yeah.
Through the Catholic Volunteer Network response book, and that was also another interesting journey because we had just started a mission group at our parish in Pennsylvania, and we were scheduled to go to another location for a week in June that year, and right before we were supposed to go, 2 weeks before, it basically got canceled. So we were scrambling like, okay, so now what do we do? And that's when we stumbled across what was then known as the St. Jude Mission Center. And Father Beiting said, come on down.
Yeah.
And we did. And when we first met him, it's like it was being in the presence of a living saint. He was truly a wonderful man, a holy man.
And their church parish is just one of hundreds of church groups that come down to the Mission Center every year, and because it's a mission center.
Right.
People come on mission trips to do missionary work, and that's really something that we want to stress, we not only evangelize and witness our faith to the people that we help, but also the people that come to our place are transformed by that experience.
It isn't Catholic mission. There's the spiritual journey, daily mass, adoration. We emphasize their journey. The work is important. And again, some of the things that Father would always say is, what is God asking you to do with your life? and a happy volunteer is a tired volunteer. And people are never so happy when they leave and ever in their life. And part of it, again, Father would always say, volunteering is a dangerous territory. And what I've gotten from that when I tell the groups that come are already on fire for the faith or they wouldn't be there.
Right.
But I always emphasize, well, what do you do in the other 51 weeks? And we've seen a lot of mission work being done and started in these parishes where they come from because of the experience that they've come here. I mean, if you take Cindy and myself coming from Pennsylvania, well, anybody, not just Pennsylvania, you don't really need to go real far to help people. But there is a great need in eastern Kentucky, and that's how we were drawn here because of the, Cindy was talking about how we got here. My first experience, I said to myself, when I was heading back to Pennsylvania, I'm never coming back here again. So God does have a sense of humor. But my problem there was trying to apply my culture to the culture of eastern Kentucky, and it's just not possible. So again, I ended up coming, and it's been, it's a lot of hard work. It's as I said, when Rustlin offered me the position, I said I could do everything, operationally, and again, I kind of got being a volunteer for a few years. But my biggest concern was being able to keep up with Father. Because Father would work, and Sue could tell you about that because she's been with him. She was with him for a lot of years, even prior to the mission. So he was just a, very powerful personality. He did a lot, never a very Christian man for sure.
Well, we're going to go ahead and take a break.
Okay.
And then when we come back, we will talk more about how people can get involved with the Father Beiting Appalachian Mission Center. On your Community Connection Corner, on your Catholic station, Real Life Radio 1380 and 94.9 FM, WMJR, Nicholasville, Lexington.